Welcome to Barricade Rides, videos for motorcycle enthusiasts. We're back at Emerald City Harley Davidson in Lynnwood, Washington. Got my boy David, and we're going to go over these two beautiful machines from Terminator 2. They're newer models, the 2021 Harley Davidson Fat Boy. So let's get into it.
Hey everybody, David with Emerald City Harley Davidson Barricade. Thanks a lot for coming in and doing another video with us. So we're going to talk about the 2021 Fat Boy. This bike celebrated its 30th anniversary in the 2020 model year. In 2021 they kind of gave it an update where they went, last year they had kind of satin chrome on it. It was really pretty, it looked nice. It didn't quite have that thoroughbred Harley Davidson look with the bright chrome. So they went back to bright chrome, and I think it's been a huge improvement on this bike. It just looks right. So these are two different, really unique colors for this year. This is called Blackjack Metallic, and Barricade, if you come up real close here, you can see it looks like a vivid black bike from about 10 feet away, but then you get up here and you see that metal flake in it. It's actually a really dark, kind of a graphite color with this charcoal pinstripe. Perfect, beautiful. Now this color is called Deadwood Green. This color comes on a few bikes this year, but on the Fat Boy, man, I really like the way it looks. It's a really cool color. Now, not too long ago, you couldn't sell a green bike to save your life because there was a lot of history with green bikes during World War II. Green bikes were targeted by the Germans, so they were considered bad luck. However, those green bikes also helped us win the war. So now that stigma's kind of gone. You're seeing a lot more green options. We've got the snake venom this year, which is really cool. It's kind of that color shift. Anyway, this is the Deadwood Green, and I just love it. When you really look at it, it's kind of got that army green kind of color to it, but very, very, very pretty. I love it on the chrome. So anyway, Fat Boy, iconic bike. It was made famous a lot of different ways, but a lot of people refer to it as the Terminator bike because the earlier generation of the Fat Boy is what he was riding in that scene. Anyway, there's something about the front end of a Fat Boy. It is chunky, it's substantial, it's thick, it's stout, and yet it rides like a dream. These things are really very nimble. I love how they've updated this bike. Now they did this a few years back, but the updated wheels, it's still got the solid wheels. Fat Boys have always had solid wheels. That was one way you could always identify a Fat Boy. And they might have had some drilled circles in the cast aluminum. These are solid. They had many years where they made them with solid wheels, especially in the rear. The rear tire on this is, I believe, a 235. So it's a really wide tire, gives it a really aggressive, almost a custom kind of a chopper look to it. But the handling on this bike and the ride on this bike is fantastic. So starting with the power plant, of course, Milwaukee 8 114. It's the only engine that comes on the Fat Boy now. Tremendous power, 4 valves per cylinder, 2 spark plugs per cylinder. That gives you a better burn. It gives you better airflow, intake and exhaust. You pair that with the 2-into-2 exhaust with the crossover, gives you that low end torque that you expect from a Harley Davidson. 6-speed transmission, as are all the big twins now. As a matter of fact, that's no longer news. You don't even see 6-speed on the transmission cover anymore. It's just a cover. So it's a 6-speed transmission, oil bath chain primary. Of course, the final drive, like 99% of the Harleys out there. Belt drive, Kevlar reinforced, designed to last the life of the bike, and no maintenance, no fluids, no oiling of the chain, none of that kind of stuff, really no adjustment. Once this thing is broken in at your 1K service, you come in, they adjust the belt for you, you're pretty much good to go. And they'll check it when you come in for K services too, but you don't have to worry about maintaining it. That means more time riding and less time working on your bike. It's just what we all want. On this bike, up front, you've got a floating rotor disc brake. It's a little bit hard to see. I'll turn the wheel here. Floating rotor disc brake up front. This bike is also equipped with ABS. That's the ABS sensor for the front wheel. So you've got tremendous power right out of the gate, right out of the showroom floor. This bike goes, and you need brakes that are going to kind of work with that engine. You need to be able to go fast, you need to be able to stop fast. Then you've got the addition of the ABS. So in a straight line, man, this thing is not going to skid on you. You're not going to have the rear end walking out on you if you hit the brakes too hard, whatever. So really a lot of nice features to help you brake quickly when you need to. We're running the Dunlop tires, front and rear. Excuse me, these are Michelin Scorchers. Now Michelin and Dunlop both make tires for Harley Davidson. You can always tell the tires that are made for us because they have the little bar and shield here on the sidewall. And they also have, you can't see it, but Harley Davidson there, and then Michelin is up here. So Harley has gone to Michelin, we've gone to Dunlop, and we've said, okay, for this bike, this is what we want in terms of a tire. They make it to our specification, so it is perfectly suited for this bike. You've got a great suspension up front, Showa front end. It's those really chunky forks, super responsive, but a really nice, comfortable ride. Same thing in the rear. You've got the monoshock. This is a soft tail, so you've got the monoshock under the seat. The upgrade they made to this frame in 2018, the handling, they made it lighter, they made it more rigid, and they made it more comfortable for longer distances. So just a wonderfully designed frame. Then you've got the painted parts. And one of the things I love about Harley Davidson's, I've seen other brands, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I've seen other brands of bikes that 10 years after they come out, they look old. The paint is fading, it's cracking, it's peeling. We see it a lot, but not on Harleys. Harley paint is legendary. And that's not just the painted tins, the tanks and the fenders and the side covers and things. It's the frame, it's when there's painting on the wheels, when there's painting on the forks, it's the chrome treatment. This bike is designed with proper care to look like this in 20 years, and it will if you take care of it. That's one of the reasons that Harleys really maintain their value well. They're always beautiful. And so much so that you can tell the ones that we're not taken care of. It doesn't happen very often, but you can tell when somebody has put a coat of wax on it once a year and kept it in the garage or under a cover versus somebody that's left it sitting out. It does make a difference, but not the fault of the paint or any of the finishes on the bike. It's the fault of the owner. So take care of your bike and it's going to keep looking like this. The riding position on this bike is fantastic. Floorboards. Now the floorboard controls are all pretty much the same place on all the bikes that have floorboards. You get a slight bend forward in your leg. Gives you a little more extension. You're not quite as tucked up as you would be with mid controls. Floorboards are really comfortable. You've got these almost beach bars, not quite, but they're kind of a wide stance, kind of matches the stance of the front forks. You really feel like you're in control on this bike, and yet I could get on this bike and ride to Oregon, no problem. Very, very comfortable. Great seat. It's got a nice wide platform for your tushy. Very comfortable. The floorboards, as I mentioned, are awesome. I love all the controls right at your thumbs here. No reason to reach and try to find gas valves or this or that. Everything's right here. Everything you need. It does have a built-in fuel gauge. It's got an RPM gauge. It's got a gear selection indicator, clock, you name it. And that's all in your LCD screen here, along with the analog speedo here. So it's kind of old school, but it's got a lot of technology just under the surface. Makes this bike really great to ride. clock hasn't been set. Anyway, phenomenal bike. It is legendary. It is hard to keep in stock. We happen to have 2 of these right now. They won't last long because people want the Fat Boys. We pretty much sell them as soon as we get them. So if you're interested in a Fat Boy and you want to see the changes this year in 2021, think about picking one of these up. Man, come by and pay us a visit. We'd love to see you. We'd love to show you these bikes. Who knows? One of them might be yours. So.
All right, there you have it. The 2021 Harley Davidson Fat Boys. Absolutely beautiful machines. So lucky to have 2 different colors in. Thank you so much to Emerald City Harley Davidson for letting me film here, and thank you, David, for giving us a great walkthrough of these 2 awesome machines. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Help us grow this channel. And as always, brothers and sisters,
Stay safe
and ride your ride.